Welcome to the Redvee Instant reaction, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2025 season, following St Helens 14-13 victory over the Catalans Dragons this evening in the south of France. Kevin, this is not the south of France.
I think we'd have needed some kind of cover for the microphone if it had been the south of France. Looks very, very windy over there. Yeah, this isn't the south of France, unfortunately. But we've managed to watch the game, which is the main thing.
Now, let's just start off by saying it is very, very windy over in the south of France. You can't see that on the TV as well, so I'm sure the fans over there are going to tell us how bad those conditions were. The main thing, the most important thing this evening is we've gone to the south of France and we've actually come away with 2 points, which we don't do very often.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gone over there and got the win. And I think sometimes the win is more important than the performance. I think for the sake of kind of our coaching staff and our position in the league and the fact that we're going into this run of games with a cup game in there, Good Friday coming up as well, we needed the 2 points on the board. I'm sure we'll get into the performance as we go. I've just heard Steve McNamara say it was a high quality game. I think that the wind has kind of not really shown that true on TV. It looked like it was a good game, but I wouldn't be kind of necessarily watching it all back.
So first off, we're missing Ciro, who stayed behind in the UK for this one. We're interested to see Moses and Bai come in at 9 ahead of Darryl Clark.
Well, I think it's just with Darryl Clark having his hip injury, it means we can manage his minutes a little bit more. It's something that I've kind of advocated for a while, for us to manage those minutes. Moses did well when he came on last week. Thought he looked lively. So the change didn't really surprise me too much. I think it's always a worry when you get into the second half and you've not brought someone who may well be carrying a knock on, and think, are you doing it because you just want to give him 10-20 minutes? Because I thought Darryl actually gave us that point of difference that a proper 9 does when he was introduced.
2 minutes into the game, we lose Harry Robertson through a HIA. Luckily for us, does that mean can he be back next week? Is it 7 days HIA? Is it 10?
10.
So he's going to miss Warrington next week. Straight away, it forces a reshuffle. I think it was Matt Whitley who goes into centre. And to be fair, stood up well.
He did. I do feel like since he's been brought back into the team rather than just on the bench, his game has started improving and there looks to be a bit of confidence behind him as well. I think he's done really well tonight. Playing in a kind of an unfamiliar role at centre. I know he's done it in the past, but not really for us. And he's stood up well to what Catalan have thrown at him.
That opening 5 minutes, whether we were a bit shocked from losing Harry Robertson so early and having to try and readjust, we looked all over the show in that for the first 5 minutes or so. And then obviously Jack Wellesby makes a break, and we go pretty much coast to coast and score.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that with a lot of we looked all at sea, with the number of missed tackles we've had in that game, I'd argue that there were times when, not even just in that first 5 minutes, that it wasn't good enough.
45 missed tackles from Saints.
And I think we made 5 more errors than Catalan, and I think that's not good enough. I've lost count of the number of times I have said the discipline isn't just not like high tackles and stuff like that. It's being smarter with the ball, off the ball, making sure that you are completing them tackles, completing your sets. And there were times that I'm relieved at the win. I'm happy with the win. And I said I think it is more important than the performance in the context of going over to France and getting the 2 points. But I think there is a lot to fix up there. There are mitigated factors where you lose Harry Robertson early. I think Jake Wingfield gets green carded, so has to leave the field for 2 minutes. There are factors that you can look at, but as I said towards the end of last season, you've got to be getting the tune out of the players on the pitch, and 45 missed tackles is too many.
Listen, we scored back-to-back tries. We obviously score the first, Tristan Taylor gets another, and at that moment you're thinking this is going to be a points fest for Saints. And then we seem to go back into our shell a little bit. Catalan get a try coming off the back of I think it was a Saints penalty. And then when we're 14-6 up, 12-6 up, 5 minutes before half time, playing with into the wind. You think, I think you said to me just before that, you know what, if we was going here 18-12 at half time with that wind we've got against us, you'd probably take that.
I wouldn't have been too disappointed.
Yeah, but we're 12-6 up. There's 4 minutes to go before the half. You've got a penalty bang in front of their sticks, and we don't stretch the lead to 8. And then 2 minutes later, we knock on. Then we give away a six again and a penalty, and they go down the other end, and all of a sudden, it's 12-10.
Yeah, I think like the context of me saying if you're 18-12 down is when you're under the pump, they've got the wind behind them. We obviously look like we're tiring because we're running into the wind and having to do a lot of defending at that point. So you get the opportunity to score points, and I think that's another kind of bugbear. Against Warrington last week, we took the 2 early doors. Okay, fine. I'd rather we ran it the first time.
At 0-0, I think it was.
Yeah, it was at 0-0. Then at 2-0, I'm sure we got another penalty that was kickable. We ran it, made a mistake, and Warrington end up scoring off the back of that set. There are too many decisions being made, I think, by, I'll say older heads, more experienced players, rather than an age thing. There are too many errors being made in judgment for people of that experience, of players who have played a good number of games at the top level.
I just think logic says you go 8 points up, you take another minute off the clock, you're 3 minutes before the half, and chances are you're going into half time with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it's very easy in hindsight saying all this, but
well, I think we all said it at the time, not even in hindsight.
But I'm saying again in the context of doing this video when people haven't been party to our chat, it's very easy. All right, it's very easy sitting on the couch and saying it. But yeah, I'd just like to see us be a little bit more ruthless. And I think we said it in attack, but also in our decision making. Just be a little bit more ruthless and just be better, more disciplined in it as well.
Even with the wind behind us in the second half, we never really coped with them conditions. Did we ever really look like scoring?
No, we had some decent-ish field position. I think. We did look like scoring when Deon went over, but obviously got called back for an offside where it was half a foot, half of what a size
70 metres from the line.
Yeah, half a size 8 ahead of Lomax when he.
Do you know what shoes Tristan wears?
I'm guessing it.
Shoe sniffer.
You are weird.
You're the one who knows his shoe size. It's 12. Catalan then get a penalty, as they do. 12-all. And I think I said to you, if Catalan scored, well, did it do us well them taking that 2 because we were on our own line? And I said to you, if Catalan scored a try here, I don't see us going down and scoring a try down their end. And we got off lucky with them taking the 2 and going 12-all.
That's probably them not being ruthless enough and judging what's going on the park. And yeah, as you say, apart with the Deon no try kind of aside, we had a couple of half chances where John Bennison's down that right wing and either trying to keep a ball in or ball's just in front of him, but there wasn't really anything where you think, oh my God, we're really knocking on the door here. It was more we were setting up, trying to turn the ball over and make them make a mistake. But with Catalan, they just enjoy slinging the ball wide and started making hay. And it is against someone who I have praised, like Matt Whitley and John Bennison down that wing, who've done really well, but still you're seeing ball go down that channel. That's probably the whole unit of that side who needs to kind of look at each other. But for a makeshift centre-wing combo, I'm not going to be too harsh on Bennison and Whitley, though.
Okay, 12-all. Johnny Lomax kicks the 1, 13-12 up. And was there anything more nailed on than Catalan were going to get the ball back from the kickoff on that one?
No, it was written in the stars. Yeah, it was written in the stars that it was going to happen. Yeah.
So they go it's 13 all, and then a couple of minutes left. We're setting up, and Alex Walmsley on the last, was fourth tackle, has a bit of a brain fart and tries to offload, and your chances gone, and you think this is going to go really wrong for us here. But then luckily Johnny pops up with a second.
Yeah, again, that goes back to me saying there's players with a lot of Super League experience who have made a couple of poor errors of judgment. So you look at the likes of Alex trying to offload there, Matt Percival trying to offload a little bit earlier in the first half. Sometimes you've just got to try and keep hold of the ball. High risk, yes, high reward, but you've got the opportunity to take the one. As you say, it's worked in our favour anyway because we've come away with the win. I like the captain's challenge from Catalans to say that the ball had gone 10 metres but had come back.
When you can't see it.
When you can't see it, but obviously they felt there was something in it. But then,
to be fair, at that point in time, have you got anything to lose?
No, you haven't. That's why I like it. You've got to chance your arm, and you've managed to keep hold of your captain's challenge. So you chance your arm with it. That's why I like it. I'm not saying it from a sarcastic point of view. I like the way that they've done it. And then we get the ball, obviously, from that. I'm thinking, pump it into touch, waste some more time. And we end up dropping it. Again, another experienced player ends up losing the ball in collision.
It should have just been up the jumper.
Yeah.
I've got cramp.
Yeah.
Get up, play the ball. Get tackled. Oh, I've got cramp.
Yeah.
If you watch, I think it was on the first tackle on that set, we're trying to play a quick play the ball.
Yeah. And now, you'd imagine Iggy Parzy's going to get into maybe a little bit of bother for his high tackle on Sam Tompkins in that set. He may well do. But
Point.
Yeah, possibly a point. Maybe 3. But again, it just comes down to that game management and that. Obviously, very, very happy with the win, but if I'm going to be critical, which I think I need to be at times, we just need to smarten up because a team like a Wigan, a Hull KR, someone like that, are just dismantling you if you play like that.
It felt like we killed ourselves. Every time we kill ourselves in games, it's from 6 agains and penalties, and teams then score off the back of them. If we tidied up that part of our game, we wouldn't concede many.
Yeah.
Right, we've talked the negatives, the missed tackles, not being smart.
Can I just go one more negative?
Go on.
The number of breaks that we had to have because of the ref's communication system. That doesn't lend itself to a conducive game. I know that there are going to be problems sometimes. There's going to be problems with the technology, with the wires, with whatever.
There has to be a contingency just to go, right, we're going without.
Yeah,
Old
exactly.
school.
Let's just get it done. The flag's gone up. He's in touch. We're not going to play on and we're going to go to...
Oh.
Yeah, have I just reminded you of
Yes,
that one?
sorry. First half, it goes up for... He goes up Catalan try, or was it no try on the field?
No try.
And they were looking for touch. The touch judge has put his flag up to say he's in touch. Does that not end the play?
Well, I suppose the football adage is play to the whistle. So you could argue that, but you'd think, well, he's made a decision. It's not like, again, we'll go back to football. It's not like when they do the offsides and they let play on, and then he could have stood the other side of the corner flag and said, I'm gonna put my flag up here to say that he's in touch. If you're gonna check anything, I really think he's in touch here. If you want to check it, fine, but I'm gonna go back and do it. Yeah, it just felt a little bit disjointed, and whether that was because the ref had been kind of bit I don't know, put off because of the issues they were having with the communication.
Some referee will probably tell us that you do play to the whistle
Yeah.
there, but I'd be interested to know, does the touch judge's flag going up stop the play? Because otherwise we're just going to see teams carry on in future, aren't we?
And I'd hope we would. If that's the case, you just play to it.
I'm assuming it must be the referee's whistle, because the video ref would have seen the flag go up and say that should have stopped play. As it is, we didn't get away with one there. We didn't get away with one in the second half. I called it straight away that it looked like the ball had gone forward. Never mind, just he got the offload. Took about 5 million looks, got it right in the end. Right, positives then.
Yeah.
I thought John Bennison was absolutely solid in defence today. We don't get a lot in attack there because our play doesn't lend itself to that and the lack of pace there. But defensively, he was into the tackle, in the faces, great line speed. I don't think he missed one really. Out of the 45 we did. Joe Batch, Matt Whitley looked like they were coming back into form. Jack Wellesby was good. Matt Percival was good. Tristan Saylor scored 2 tries. I'd like to see a bit more from him. But I thought Johnny Lomax did a lot better this week as well.
Yeah, I think go away from just the 2 clutch plays of kicking the drop goals as well. I thought he organised as well. And I think, just to go slightly negative, you do want to see more of Tristan running with the ball.
Is Saylor a leader? Or is he somebody who
he probably
is there
needs,
to make things happen?
He probably needs the dictator of a halfback with him, the stronger halfback who will tell him what he should be
And
doing.
is that potentially why you couldn't put Whitby there at the minute alongside him?
No, because I think Whitby's got that in him. I think Whitby has got that in him. I've seen him play and tell forwards where they are going
At that level.
But still, you don't then shy away from that. That is what you do as a player. But I think the conversation that we've had time and time again about whether Johnny gets dropped, you just don't see it unless he's injured, which he had a lot of strapping on his shoulder as well, didn't he?
Second half, I think he got hit just before half time.
Yeah. So whether you have a game coming up like a Wakefield where you think, let's just roll the dice here and let George have a run out, you possibly could do. But yeah, he was better tonight, as you say. I think most of the back line kind of covered themselves in some glory. Percy still with the tough running. Deon didn't look out of place. John Bennison did well. Matt Whitley did well. And yeah, it was more workmanlike, I think. Again, it's another win on the board, which should give us confidence. I think it's just a matter of there's still a lot to fix up there.
It is. Obviously, we'll go into Harry Robertson being missing on the show next week. You've got to assume it's probably going to be Whitley into centre and James Bell coming to the side for Warrington away.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. Because you're struggling for who else it could be. Again, we won't get into contracts that we've given out or players who are out on loan.
Play Johnny Vaughan there? Oh, sorry, he's gone.
He's gone.
Aye.
He's... Yeah.
Do I have to design the dark screen with gone over the eyes for next week? Oh, he's on loan at the minute, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he's not gone. Yeah. You obviously...
Sorry.
Oh, there is another option.
Go on.
Ben Davis.
Yes.
There is another option, and people will go, "Oh no, not Ben." But I'm giving you options from the squad.
A centre who's in your squad. If Ben Davis now does not get a game next week, he will never get into this side ever again.
Unless you are literally down to who's playing centre.
Unless you're down to Salford. Unless you're down to Salford's level of squad.
Yeah. Unless you're down to me or Ben Davis, in which case Ben would get the nod. My knees just wouldn't take it. Or my lungs, or my hands, or my head, or my legs.
Shoulders, knees and toes. Right. Listen, it's 2 points in the south of France. We're keeping up pace at the top, towards the top of the table. Super League's tight from first to about 8th.
Yeah.
Hopefully Salford go to Wigan tomorrow and do us a favour. So before we go, is playing for Saints reserves or getting sent on dual reds to the likes of Whitehaven a better option at the moment than being sent to Salford on loan?
I wouldn't like to go to Salford on loan, would you?
I'd be asking who's paying me wages.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine.
Or when the wages are going to be paid.
Well, judging by the Castleford deal, because they sent a youngster to Salford and took one of Salford's players in return, they were paying his wages. So I would imagine, because Johnny is, you would imagine he's not top 25 earners, doesn't count on the cap, isn't that big of a dent in what we're paying out anyway. People who are asking who we're going to get in return, we've not got any room there to use Johnny Vaughan's wage. If we could use Johnny Vaughan's wage against our own cap, we've no room for it. I wouldn't get excited about that at the moment.
Might just clip that for Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, unless the only thing is, unless you bring someone else in who is not part of your top 25.
Yes. Right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will be back on Friday. Friday. Should be on overtime, Kevin.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch you soon.